this babe. Christina Kirkey is an absolute babe and carrying out her dreams with her father's legacy as a cornerstone, which I love. You know this. So, the best way to honor your parents is to do what she's doing. So, she has the cutest award winning salon in the top 200 in the country. You gotta listen, you gotta watch this episode and tell us both what you think. So, let's get to it. Are you a beauty or barber pro looking for that push to do that thing you've always wanted to do, whether it's in or out of the salon, spa, or shop? Are you tired of not feeling good enough, smart enough, skilled enough? Are you tired of not getting a handle on your mental health, boundaries, and insecurities? I'm Krystine Sherwood, the BeautyPro coach, an internationally certified coach, a salon and spa owner, and your personal Jiminy Cricket. I use my own experiences, good and bad, as a salon owner to help you be more self-aware, authentic, and forward-thinking in your approach to life, in and out of the salon. It's time to reach your version of success with the BeautyPro Coach podcast. Hello, my fabulous beauty and barber pros. This is Krystine with the BeautyPro podcast. And this week's guest is kind of a cool chick because we kind of sort of share the same name. So, Christina, how are you, my lovely lady?
I am very good. I'm happy to be here.
Fabulous. Tell everybody who you are, what your story is, what you're about, where you're located. Fill us in because we don't know you. We don't know what's going on.
Well, I guess everybody needs to get comfy, grab their blanket
Let's
because
go.
let's just get cozy.
Let's go. I got my water.
I got my coffee. I got my afternoon latte.
I love it.
I'm Christina Kirkey. I'm born and raised in Raleigh, North Carolina. I have lived here my whole life, and I've been in the industry for 15 years now. I wanted to open a salon. That was a dream of mine. Graduated high school early, went straight to cosmetology school, had the dream of opening the salon with my dad. He unfortunately passed while I was in cosmetology school. So it was kind of one of those like, all right, let's and I told everyone in cosmetology school, I'm going to open a salon with my dad. I was that girl, 18, didn't know what I was talking about. Like, couldn't tell me nothing. And so I worked in a handful of salons after I graduated and just could not figure out. I've always like kind of had the personality where I never felt like I fit into one table, in the lunchroom, anything. And so worked at a handful of salons, and the last salon I applied at, in my interview, I was like, I just want to find my salon home. Like, I'm sick of moving around. And it ended up, that salon ended up closing. It was a whole mess. And so I was finally at the point where I was like, all right, well, if no one's going to help me get to where I'm going to get, and this was in 2015, which studios had been around, but it was primarily just the Sola studios at the time. So in our area, that's when like my salon suites, all the other suites, the nicer ones that were a little bit refreshed started popping up. Because all of our Solas were like super old. And my friend that I had gone to school with and we were just like, screw it, let's just get a studio. Best and worst thing you can do. One, going into business with your best friend.
Yeah. I admire those who do, and it works, but
Did not work. We do not talk.
No.
But we were also two very different stylists, right? She was a barber primarily, and I liked to do women. I preferred blondes, and I was working in one area of town. We got our studio, which was weird for both of us, on the complete opposite side of town of where our clients even were. Again, no sense. It just seemed like a cool idea. And quickly learned that mixing women that you're trying to do higher end services and then a barber in a small little studio, the conversations didn't mix, the music did like. So I got someone to sublease that chair and moved closer back to where my roots were, and kind of worked through. I outgrew the studio, but it was like one of the little townhouses. So it was a little bit more intimate, and you could make it a little more personalized. So I did that from 2016 until the end of 2018, and I bought a barber shop. That was for Barbers. What's the problem here?
I don't know.
No problems, but it was less than a mile from my studio, and it was owned by this cute little 72-year-old man.
Oh,
And all he still wanted to work there part-time, and everyone that had walked through didn't want him to work there anymore. And I'm like, this little cutie is at no threat to us. Yeah,
oh,
sure, he can work here some.
oh
He
my
is
God.
actually, so I was there until June last year. So from I technically opened there January 2019, and then till June 2024, I went from 1,500 square feet to 2,500 square feet. My little old barber man is still with us. He
Oh
followed
my
us.
God. Oh.
And we are an extension focused color cuts salon. We don't do any like facials, waxing, any of that. And then I have a whole bridal department. And my purpose behind the bridal department was to help with the independent stylists, because a lot of times stylists just want to be stylists.
Mhm.
They don't want to do the business. They don't know how to do the business. And some of them are transparent about not knowing. Some of them think that they
Um,
know and burn themselves into a hole. And that was me. I'm not bashing them. That was just totally me for a long time. And I kind of saw the gap where I'd want to blend it. And so I was like, well, we have such a good culture inside the salon. If I can help capture these girls, we can deal with the back end of the business. We have a great brand presence and streamline and overall like company morale and just known in our area. So we can get them weddings, pay them well, and then help kind of mix them in where they don't feel so alone.
mhm.
So that's where Pinup Bridal kind of came to play, and got us where we are kind of today. It's a whole powerhouse of very pink. This is my home office. My salon is not worse, better than this.
Ah,
If my house could be pink, it would. My husband said that there's already more pink in this house than he thought. I don't know why, but
so many questions. But yes, like, okay, all right, wait. Let me just
I
back up in my mind. Hold on. Okay, first question was your wallpaper. This is in your home?
mhm.
This is the cutest freaking wallpaper. You guys, if you're watching on the YouTube on Beauty Pro TV, she has pink blow dryers. I mean, this is so freaking cute. How did you find that? Did you
So
make
it's
it?
no, so
Okay.
Sunny Social Club, it's grass cloth wallpaper. They're in Charlotte, so I'm in Raleigh. They're like 3 hours away, and they have all of these fun designs. So it started with this one, and then I have three others in my salon, and because they dropped a whole line that was called the Beauty School Dropout.
Oh.
Perfect. And so they have so many different things, but it's all just so fun and colorful. And my salon is kind of think like Beverly Hills Hotel, a little bit of
Yes.
Charleston, very just pink and all of the things. And so we brought that into our bathrooms. Our bridal suite, from their beauty school dropout collection, they had Aquanet hairsprays and stuff like that. I had them take Aquanet off and put our Pinup Bridal logo in it. It's very subtle, so it's not like our logo all up in your face in there.
Sure, sure.
But yeah, no, this is definitely one of my favorite lines. It just makes you smile. I call our front bathroom, it's our Golden Girl bathroom. We have a pink toilet.
My God, you guys. So if you are not following Christina and her salon, your salon is called Pinup. It's called Pinup,
Studio.
right? Pinup Studio.
Hmm.
Okay, you guys gotta follow them on social because it is the freaking cutest place. Like I feel like I've been there already. And one of these days I'm gonna have a tour, and and Pinup Salon is going to be one of the stops because it is freaking the cutest. Anyway, besides it being the cutest, you guys were also at the Data Driven Salon Summit by
Yes.
Salon
Okay.
today. Please tell what happened there. Were you guys invited? Did you win? What happened?
Yeah, so this was our second year winning Salon Top 200, which was super exciting. So the first year, which was last year that we won it, and we had gone to the Denver one, we won for growth. And then this year we won in the business builder category. And that was for our extension line that we dropped and the method behind it, which a method is a method. I'm not going to go on a tangent of all of that. But
Mhm.
anyways, we expressed all of the growth that had came and that we brought into our business from doing that. But Data Driven itself, it's just such a good, it was in Arizona. So first of all, I love Arizona. It's amazing. It was great to get away. It was at a beautiful resort, but The people that are there and the speakers and even the vendors, like it's all high performers, it's high energy, great takeaways. It's all driven on data. Of course, they have some great mindset stuff, but it's the data and stuff to help you really move the needle.
Mhm.
And I think it's just good to kind of get out and learn from that and I listen to podcasts every single day while I'm getting ready, but it's something about getting in the room sometimes and like
Yes.
physically meeting people that like you've seen on social media and you've talked to in your inbox, but it's like, oh, you're like an actual human.
Yeah, I get to touch you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so then how tell everybody a little bit about the salon model, your structure. Are you a hybrid? Are you renting? I cuz I you mentioned about the pinup bridal side of business, but and then you have your little 70-year-old mascot with you still. So
Yeah.
like what how are you paying your employees that you were able to be one of the top 200? Like let's get it like an inside
Yeah.
look.
Well, our now he's 74, 75. He's special. So we give him the cheapest rent. I don't make anything
Yeah.
off of him. He's barely there. And so he does pay me rent.
Yeah.
We don't count him, but he is like the biggest. We're a girls team. I would love to get a boy on sometime, but he's our mascot. He's in all of our stuff. Me and him do a duo Halloween costume every year.
Just love it.
So he rents, but the rest were all commission based.
Okay.
And we have an associate program, junior, and then we go up 10 levels. And so it's not just like,
10 levels?
well, that's including those. So if you're like tier one,
Uh-huh.
you'll go from junior, which is hourly pay, and then you go into your tier one, and your first increase is your price increase. And then obviously you're hitting commission at that point.
Mhm.
Second time you go up, it'll be the price increase. Next time is going to be the commission increase. So your clients aren't getting hit with the price increase every single time, but we give our girls 6 months. If they hit the goals for 6 months, they can level up. We
Just
currently only have people up at level 4. So we haven't gotten that far. We just expanded this out this year.
Mhm.
Because when I started, it was just 3 levels. And I have a stylist that's been with me for 6 years. And it's like she got her first actual promotion at the end of last year because she's just been with me for so long. And so that's where, and I understand why, lead stylists end up going out because they've plateaued and had no more
Mhm.
room for growth. So that's where we really dug in this year. And we didn't want to hit clients with the price increase every single second that they went. So it's kind of
Mhm.
like you get different increases each time, but each level there's different requirements when it comes to things, and we're not Summit, so it's not like you have to, and no hate to Summit, it's just not necessarily what works for us.
Mhm.
We have some of our non-negotiables, but it's not like if you're 100 off from your retail, you got to wait another 6 months. Like I feel like there's different things that you can look at to kind of
Mhm.
gauge it as opposed to just being so like cut and dry.
I love that. And I know for a lot of salon owners, and you probably know this too, because we've all been there, we've all started somewhere. How did you come to how did you come to the point where you're like, okay, we're gonna have 10 levels and this is what we're gonna do and this is how we're gonna go about it and it's gonna be great. Like how did you come to that decision of doing it that way?
I think having the 3 high performers that I have right now, again, one that's been with me for 6 years,
Yeah.
another for 5, the other, she's coming up on her 3 year. And the one that's been here for 3, she's our lead educator. And me and her are amazing and awful together because we have the same like creative minds.
I
Makes
love.
my manager want to like run. Because she's like the the data and the strategic and all of that. And
Right.
me and her just like, let's just do this. And it's gonna be great.
Yeah.
But when I'm looking at them and it's like, I know the reality is I can't keep these girls for their whole career. I can only hope. And I say that to all of them, but I also understand there's going to come a time or, you're going to want to retire or there's just, I give a lot of grace and leniency, which I think is what helps our low turnover. But I was looking at the big picture of them and knowing that they were going to get to that point and at some point it was going to be I'm just not making as much as I could and so how could I adjust that for them
Hmm.
and get them really bought into the salon itself and the culture and knowing that they're going to be supported every step of the way.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful for real. Okay, so now you mentioned that you were so proud to go into business with your daddy-o and then he passes away. So what was the dream there? Of course, you're carrying on the legacy that you planned with him,
Yeah.
right? Which I just love. I'm a big fan of legacies, a big fan of family businesses. So when he passes away, which if you don't mind sharing that part of your story,
Oh yeah.
um, go tell us what happened there.
He's definitely this is going to be 15 years this which is like so weird that he's been gone for almost 15 years.
Listen, you just said it, and I'm like, oh yeah, it was like the other day, but no, it's been a
It's been
while.
so long. And of course, for anyone who's ever lost someone super close or a
Yeah.
parent, like grief comes and goes in so many waves.
Mhm.
And I mean, I was a mess, obviously. I was only 18 at the time. And my dad came from nothing. He had built up a company here and he had his own painting company. So he primarily did commercial painting, or if it was residential, it was very high dollar houses. And so he definitely didn't understand how lucrative the beauty industry could be.
Right.
I think he kind of saw it as like an easy way out for me, because I was never the schoolgirl. Like if I was going to do anything other than this, I thought I was going to go be a lawyer because I like to argue.
Right.
Makes no sense.
Whatevs.
And so, however, I will say, because again, he had a painting company, so he would send all of his employees to school so I could hit my live models.
Oh.
I was just cutting their hair. I was coloring my dad's hair, all of that stuff. And we at the time, I went to Paul Mitchell here, and at the time, we used to be able to go on tours to salons. And I thought it was the coolest thing, like when we had first started out, because you could really kind of see them. They would help introduce you to salons.
Yeah.
And I would call him at the end of those days and be like, this salon had this, but I didn't like that. So we could do this and, all the things because he had the money. I
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
Um, and, he had his own struggles. I talk very openly about depression and anxiety. I've battled with it myself. And
Mhm.
unfortunately, depression won with him and he did take
Mhm.
his life.
Okay.
Um, and so I think that was one of those things where it was like, I am very open about I grew up very privileged. Like I didn't, and he did that on purpose because he had nothing growing up.
Hmm.
So he always gave my brother and I anything we wanted. But it's kind of like a lot of what I think people don't understand with suicide and life insurance is
Mhm.
depending on when you change it, is depending on if you get it. So we went from having anything we could dream of to literally nothing. And his business was, this was in '08 he died in 2010, but we were at, through the recession and all the things. And his business was like not doing really good. He was in a buttload of debt. So many people would like to in this local area would like to think that I just got all of daddy's money and opened this big old salon. No. No. And I think I spent a lot of time with alcohol and other things and not being a good stylist. Like I never got hired at the top salons here because I know I didn't show up as a top salon performer. I had a bad attitude. I was angry at the world and finding myself at the bottom of a bottle.
Mhm.
And so it was kind of like it honestly probably wasn't until I met my husband and had a man finally believe in me
Mhm.
that I was like, okay, I can do this. Like, I can pull this out of myself and do it. And my dad was a very determined person with everything that he did. He was very proud of his name. So his company was named after himself, William J. Taylor Painting. But you would see Taylor everywhere. And so
Love
I
it.
like to think I've carried that on with pinup. Pinup, my husband laughs and says that I'm like a soccer coach because I will have that on every t-shirt, sweatshirt, anything, socks, like everything. And but I think from growing up with someone who had their own company and watching those things, it's kind of like the importance of branding before
Mhm.
social media
Yes.
and all of those things because he never had any of that.
Yeah. Yes. That's exactly what I was thinking about. Like when you're saying it, I'm like, damn, she's got the branding down. At least the marketing branding piece of it, like brand awareness, like everybody's going to know
Yeah.
who I am. I love that so much.
Yeah. And I think even from learning from him, the main thing was like, which is the craziest thing. When I say this, people think it's wild. So because he was in and out of foster care, he actually did not know how to physically, like, he would write like a child because he didn't know how to like fully spell. He could speak fine, all of these things, um, but it was the way that he carried himself. He was very big on loyalty, very big on being transparent with things. And so growing up, going to these jobs with him and just like watching how he would carry himself and speak, you would never know that this strong German man, who to me was very intimidating, knew how to carry himself and all of these things, but it was all off of his word and the honesty and the quality of work that he gave. And that's it has so much to do with our industry, and that's what consumers want too. So it kind of like funnels in perfectly.
It's so beautiful because you are definitely okay. First and foremost, thank you for sharing that story. It's very an intimate thing, and that's very real and very raw, and that's what the podcast is all about. So thank you for that. You can totally see the determination and what daddy taught his daughter in everything that you're doing. And so for me personally, that's a beautiful thing that you're doing. And as a business owner, no one else is gonna understand that except you. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that I just love that. So it's still a family business, even though he's not there,
Yep.
you know? Anyway, that was my coaching self that just came out. Excuse me. But any case, so all right, so tell us a little bit, what do you feel? I know you mentioned before that you were kind of like hopping around a salon to salon. What was it that you couldn't find?
Education was a huge thing. And that's why, two reasons why our salon, the way our associate program is, it's a 4-month rapid one.
Hmm.
Nobody can survive off minimum wage for a year. They're not learning. I truly believe you have to mess up hair to learn how to do it. And
Mm-hmm.
I don't just mean mess up a mannequin. While obviously I prefer to not have live humans mad and messed up, we obviously do the best that we can to make sure that doesn't happen. Regardless, you can be a well-seasoned stylist and still mess up. Like it's just the reality of it. But I feel like with the education component, all the salons I went to, you get your yearly product knowledge class on products that have 2 inches of dust on the top of them that they don't push you to sell, or you get the most basic color class. And I was like, it wasn't it. So even when I went out on my own, trying to find education and doing all of the things, yeah, I would go to some of them, but I feel like it it was so hard just to get owners to understand, like, if you could just pour into us a little bit more than this is why we need to sell the retail that has 2 inches of dust on it, we could probably be a little bit better at our craft and charge a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
And the same thing went for extensions. Like, uh, multiple of my girls have taken so many courses, but then, and I pay for 50% of their extension courses because there's a high investment. And then I offer, depending on what the course is, anywhere from 20 is the minimum to 50% coverage of any class the girls want to take outside of what we offer.
Mm-hmm.
But say it's a $1,500 class and you don't have that remaining 50%, I'm basically like their afterpay. I'll pay for it. And then I deduct $100 out of each paycheck till their portion's paid off, because I don't want to stifle them from that. And I don't want money to be the reason why they can't get to the next step in their career. But I would spend this money with stylists and they would come back. There's little to no help from a lot of these bigger extension companies. They're standing behind my lead stylist. My lead stylists are either correcting or holding their hand through every single thing. And so that's kind of why we got to the point where it was just like, okay, well, we can just do this ourselves and save the money. We can educate and certify our girls in-house and not have to spend all of this and do the model days and get that repetition down, because they just weren't getting that support. So my main thing was education behind it, and then the support behind it, and knowing that it's more than just product.
Yeah. Okay. And you went, I'm assuming from being at a Paul Mitchell school, you went into Paul Mitchell salons?
So no, I feel like at that time when I
So sorry.
wasn't that many Paul Mitchell salons in this area. I feel like in the back then there was more like a Veda focus. So we had
Yeah.
Paul Mitchell and Aveda here. I feel like there's still more Aveda focused salons, but there was very few Paul Mitchell in the area. So that, while when I was touring schools, they sold that as a huge high point as to why we could get a job, because we would learn their cuts and learn their color. The first salon I went to was Wella, and then everything else was Redken after that.
Okay.
So I never even worked with Paul Mitchell ever again, literally.
Oh my God. Okay, so then now let's fast forward. You now have Pinup Studios and you have your own hair extension line. Is that what I'm
Yes.
understanding? Okay. So how did that happen? Because of a lack of
Hannah.
education?
That's my
Hannah.
Hannah.
Hey, Hannah,
Uh,
my girl. We love you.
I mean, her and my other two educators, like they just, again, they were the ones doing it all. We're ordering from, I don't need to name drop. We're ordering from
No.
all these top brands. The quality's not there. The blondes are definitely not lasting, and it's not for the lack of care from our guests that are taking care of them. And so then once we, there's a lot of people that you can private label through or do stuff. And I feel like when people say they have a hairline, yes, it's exciting, but it's not like I didn't fly out and do all this other stuff. There's someone else that I have that has an insurance policy. Like there's a middleman, there's still a
Yeah.
buffer
Yeah.
where like we are saving a lot of money to be able to buy in bulk, so it's house, so we can do day of extensions. Which is a huge selling point for us because 9 times out of 10, if a woman wants something, they want it then.
Mm.
Or if you want to get like pops of red or pops of pink, or like before I put pink in my hair, I did have like just little pink parts.
Extensions. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so that's kind of what drew that in, where it was like, well, we could buy in bulk, have it, we could know the quality that we were having and not have to fight with this supplier that this isn't the client's fault, that like there's nothing left on the weft after 8 weeks.
Hmm.
Or it went from 22 inches up to like nothing in no time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Okay. I love all of this because anybody watching, anybody listening, if there's a will, there's a way.
There's a damn way.
Oh
Always.
my God. I love. Okay. So now these are a lot of successes, I feel like. Would you say that?
Yeah.
Okay. So now what have been some of your, I don't know, some of your failures? What was your biggest failure? Let's go with that.
Well, it's kind of funny. I laugh about it now. Now I've had a lot of failures. It's just of course, like anything else,
Yeah.
social media is our highlight reel. And anybody who knows me or like follows my like they'll know the stuff, but like I'm not gonna sit here and make a diary post of like I lost $50,000 because I thought it'd be really cool to buy a 1975 Holiday Rambler RV and turn it into a bridal suite and then buy a truck and then tell my husband he can be the driver and we'll show up at weddings and it's gonna be perfect. We're going to make this money back in no time. We'll bring in $200,000, I swear. Ask me how many weddings we booked with that thing.
How many? How
I
many?
mean,
Oh.
all that people wanted it for was for little kids' birthdays. Well, my employees don't want to work little girls' birthdays because that's not what they want to
That's
do.
it's not the
And
yeah.
yeah, working with your husband and pulling an RV at the butt crack of dawn to get to a wedding site. And it was hard to do the pricing, right? Because it was ran off of a big old generator. So filling that thing up, filling the truck up, it was just the idea of it was great. I wanted to do it because I couldn't expand my actual physical location yet. And
Yeah.
so my bright idea, I was like, but an RV. And it was a pink RV. It was literally like this. And it was so cute. It was so cute. And if I heard one more person say, oh my God, it's so cute, book it, please. I'm
Yeah.
broke.
Yeah. That just goes to show you like pivoting is the best thing. We can
Yep.
have these amazing ideas and it works in our minds, but like in reality, like it's more like a novelty than it is a
Well,
money
and I
making.
think at the time that we did that, a lot of the venues around here, because we are in the South, so a lot of them were, the barns or the smaller. And so, like, bridal suites they didn't get a lot of love.
Hmm.
And so, when we had first started doing brides, they were booking hotels or doing other stuff and it wasn't on site. Or some of the venues don't let you in until too late. So I was like, well, yeah, this will be no issue. We can just pull up to the venue until the venue tells you no, you can't.
Yeah.
They're like, I don't want that big old thing outside of here with a loud generator just a hauling
Mm.
ass. So, but at the same time, that's also when a lot of these venues started finally listening to brides and redoing their bridal suites. So while they leveled up, we missed the curve, I think.
Well, you know.
whatever.
You learn.
Now
So that
that's right. Like whatever, because now you have this bridal suite, this whole other department.
was,
Tell everybody about that because I don't know, maybe it's just my personal experience. You either love it or you don't. And if you don't, it's very hard to break into it at all.
yeah. I actually never even did bridal work myself.
There you go. That's what I'm talking
Um,
about.
don't give me a bobby pin. I can do my own makeup. Don't let me touch anybody else's face. But it was when I first started Pinup Studio and had started getting employees, I had already, because I feel like I'm a jack of way too many weird things. I was a huge,
No.
like, big with lashes. So I was doing lash extensions. But before expanding, I would work all these bridal shows, all these other things. So I started to know all these wedding vendors. So then when I expanded, and people outside of our industry don't understand that just because you go to cosmetology school doesn't mean you do every freaking thing. And granted, you might have to do some of it through school, but once you're out and you don't want to do something, you ain't doing it. And so, but a lot of the stylists that I was hiring, they wanted to do it. So I already had the connections. So it was so easy to jump into that side of the industry. And then just finding, the right person to actually run it and understand how to do the contracts, the invoicing, all the other stuff. That's how we got into it. And our success fully has came from the networking we've done and our vendor connections because our reputation has carried us through it all.
Thank you for sharing that. That is huge. So that brings me to the next piece of okay, you have this dream salon, you have like all of the, I guess like the framework for stylists and all that. Now, you just said it was easy to get more or less because of the networking, the marketing, but how are you having your team spread the word? Like we're here now, come see me. Is it a passion? Is it training? Like how are you getting that out there?
So it's a little bit of both. I think I will be very interested to see how your viewers take this one.
Oh,
Um,
we love controversial opinions. Go. Yes, please.
so we do have a social media commitment with our team.
Okay.
But let me explain.
A commitment
I
or a
do.
contract?
It's a commitment, and I'll tell you why it's not just a contract.
Okay.
Because one, I do believe if you're going to ask your team to do something, you should do it. I am still the most psycho on social media, showing up, doing things. I still heavily help run our own physical social media for the company itself and do a lot. So I do that purposely because if a stylist wants to complain about not having time to do it, you're talking to the wrong person because yes, you do. And also, I don't care if you don't want to be in front of the camera. You don't have to sit here and get on your stories how I do. You can still sell yourself without having to be awkward in front of a camera. But I wouldn't be where I am if I hadn't started and kicked it off on social media in 2016 and really been working it. So the social media commitment, the reason we did that is because we are with Maya. Have you heard of them? The matchmaking service?
Maybe.
It's amazing. It's amazing. So
Maya, I'm coming after you.
you need to. So
All
it's
right.
an investment where it's like dating for your stylist. So all my stylists take a quiz, and this goes over their personalities, what their price range is, their specialties, and their schedules.
And this is Maya. This is out of Carolina.
No, this is Maya. She's out of Wisconsin, but like a lot, she's been blowing up everywhere. The
Okay.
contracts get blown a little bit more.
I'm
So
excited.
you as a guest would go on our website and it says like meet your hair bestie. You go take your version of the test and it matches you with our top 3 stylists. It gives you a headshot, a brief bio, and then you can see their Instagram to physically see their work because it takes your answers and the top 3 stylists. And then from there, we have drip email campaigns that come out like, this is who you matched with. We also have it costs money.
This is amazing. Okay. Well, that's good to
And
know. All right. Uh-huh.
so our booking conversion just from them is over 44%. We have, gosh, well over probably almost like 200 matches that could be pushing it like a month. So you have to work the system and to get the clients to come in. However, we're paying for all of these things, obviously, and from there you can see like what are people looking for? Is it a stylist in their price range? Are they new to the area? They put their preferred time of day, which helps me know, do I need to have more stylists on this day or not? Because you can see it all. Primarily, our lower level stylists are the ones that get matched the most because they're more price conscious. So if you're a newer stylist, it's 10 posts a month. I don't care what time, I don't care what days, I don't care if you do 7 in a row and then take it off and then do your remaining. The only thing that they lose from it, I'm not going to fire you, but you are not going to be on Maya. Because they know that's where not only where they get clients, that's where they get clients that best fit their personality and their style, and they want that. But that costs money, and they get pushed on that and published on that. So that's where the commitment comes in, because I have been coached by multiple coaches that I spend way too much money on marketing. It's fine. It's probably not, but they know that I'm doing it. So I'm like, you can at least show up 10 times a month. And if you're not booked and if you're not doing that, we'll take you off Maya. We pause it. But if you're just never going to do that, but if you're going to come in and complain about not getting booked and all these things, well, this is part of it.
So it becomes one of Pinup's KPIs, if you
Yes.
will. I love that. Don't be complaining if you ain't putting in the work.
Closed mouths don't get fed. And I understand being a commission salon, like it is our job. I think I don't feel that it's 100% our job to fill these books.
Right.
Because I can only promote and push so much. But I think where I get a little frustrated with the commission aspect, as opposed to when people go out on their own and they're like, they don't own me, they don't own the client. No, you're right. First of all, nobody owns the client. But second of all, you relied on me to get the client in, which I did. I'm relying on you to keep the client from your work, and I'm supposed to keep the atmosphere and all of that. So then when you leave, if the client, depending on whatever the client, because I know I hold up my end of the bargain with the whole experience we sell. You're doing the service. So I think that's where, to me, the switch gets crazy from commission stylist to like demanding all of these things to then saying that we didn't do anything. And I'm like, I can pull every single report in Maya Match and tell you exactly how many people I put on your book. You needed to keep them. Again, I still don't own them. And I'm not the owner that's going to call the client and be like, hey, Sally left. We're going to give you a free service. And then next time 50% off. And then next time 25% off. Please stay with us. No. You want to go with her? Go with her. We've had stylists come that have books that just kind of wanted to break and then went and did their own thing. Okay. They have their clients' information. Where it's a social media day and age. Everybody, everyone. Okay.
Exactly.
It sucks.
Yeah.
But I don't own them, and neither do they. And I always tell them, this client is either going to stay with us, miss you, or they're going to go to you, maybe not like the atmosphere, come back to us, or we're both going to lose them.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. What do you think is your biggest strength? Personal or professional? Like, let's be real here. Like, we're in an intimate industry, so it kind of blends together.
I think really seeing people and meeting them where they're at.
Yeah.
And just like motivating people to get out of their own way. Like, I understand, I think because I've gone through, and I don't think that you necessarily have to go through something earth-shattering, but I do believe those who have gone through things when the rug has truly been ripped out from under you, that it does change your perspective on a lot of things. And I'm a very curious person. So I want to know why. I want to know why someone saying something upset you that bad. And how can I help you get out of your own way to not make you fly off the rails just because you didn't like, what was it about that set you off that way? So I think seeing people where they're at, but helping them see what I see and how good they can be.
I love that. What is advice that you would give to somebody just starting out?
Get a therapist.
Amen. Yes. Everybody needs a therapist.
Be patient. I wish that the cosmetology schools help these stylists understand that just because you're seeing these stylists talk about being 6-figure stylists all over TikTok, that they didn't just graduate. I have had, because we do have we are known for our education. So we get a lot of babies. And I know that people hate that word too, but they are technically babies in the industry, and they think that they're going to come out and make what half of these girls are making, and they're like shocked to their core that it's not like that. And then, but then they also don't want to do any of the other, they don't want to work on a mannequin because they're out of school. So they're above that at this point. No,
Right.
unfortunately, you're not. And neither are my high performing girls who still have to practice their wefts on mannequins and other stuff to make sure everything's okay. So I think the patience of understanding that this is not a fast break industry to get into. It's
Mm-hmm.
passion. And I can't remember the statistic of like how many people you went to class with fall off after, 3 years, 5
Right.
years, 10 years. And because if you don't have the passion for it, there is great money to be made. It ain't getting made quick.
Right. That is so true. And I'm so happy you mentioned that because what is it? The influencer kind of culture
Mhm.
is taking over the industry. And I don't know if it's because of the big brands that have kind of created their own monsters or TikTok or Instagram or whatever it is, but if you don't prioritize your passion and your people, like you're not getting anywhere.
No.
No.
No, just no.
Okay. So, what is the biggest insult that you have ever gotten that you are just so proud of? It drives you. Like, what is that insult?
I don't know if it drives me. It kind of threw me back in a sense of I had a stylist leave, and it was because it was the first time I had told her no in over a year to a millionth schedule change, who was already part-time and wanted to change again. She was new to the industry, and she was treating her career like her side job and her main job like her career. She was worked at Starbucks. And so for her,
Mm.
that was like she kept wanting to give away hours and go there because there was more money there. Again, I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
But she was growing so good. And so I finally said, no, I'm sorry. We can't accommodate this schedule, in which I was lied to for 4 weeks that she wasn't leaving. I thought we had a great relationship. And I straight up asked her, I was like, girl, just let me know. Um,
Mhm.
Quit and told me if I valued my employees like I said I did, I would have given her what she asked for.
Hmm.
And that sat with me because I was like, and that threw me back even when we spoke. I was like, this is the first time I've told you no in over a year. How have I not valued you? And if I gave every single employee something that they asked for, I wouldn't have a functioning business. Because I did that years ago before we actually grew, and it was a freaking chaos, and it was awful, and I had no personal boundaries, I had no profit, I had nothing. And that was an insult that I was just like, that's another moment that just kind of like had clicked with me of like, I'm just gonna be a villain for people who can't understand, who are not in this arena.
Mm. Yeah. Villain and you're always a villain in somebody's story. Now, question, is that stylist still at Starbucks or is she working as a salon?
She's at Starbucks. She told me she was going to take a break from doing hair. She posted at her new job a few days later.
Uh,
And they accommodated the schedule that she wanted. This is after she went through a year of all of our very intensive training.
mm, the
And
story.
she was building an amazing, amazing book. If she would have poured in to pin up how she did her other job, she would have been great. She was great. She's a great stylist.
That is the story of so many amazing salons, right? It's always the one little thing that you're just like, it's like a nothing kind of thing,
Mhm.
but that is the hair that breaks the camel's back, right? It's just like, for real? Are you kidding me right now? But whatever. We live and we learn and we move on and we just get better from it, I guess.
That's all you can do.
So tell everybody we got 15 minutes left. Wow, time is flying.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I
We should do it
know.
by the pool next time.
We should with some DJ. Anyway, so all right. So how can people You said you're in Raleigh. The salon is in Raleigh, right? Okay, I love that area. How can people like what do you have going on for beauty and barber pros to kind of get involved and make a trip out to Raleigh to go see pinup?
I love that you asked that. Two ways. This is, again, me and Hannah's crazy tangent ideas. So we started the PSWFs. We will certify outside stylists. This isn't one of those where you have to pay like a fee a month to stay on. We don't have a website, first of all, specifically for PSWFs yet. But this is just like, we will certify you at $800. We do $500 or $800 right now. We have not upped our prices because we're trying to build the name. And obviously, you know, sometimes people still just want a bigger name behind them. I get it. It's fine. But being a commission salon, I feel like some people are scared to come in. So this year we were like, how can we get people in at an affordable rate? No fluff, no bullshit. We started our Sunday series. It's one Sunday a month. It's a 2-hour class and it changes. It's only $50.
Wow.
Our first class was on Chat GPT and me, and that was how to utilize it as a stylist. We have a summer hairline detail class coming up, client experience, holiday hustlers, reds. And it's a 2-hour class and there's no sales pitch. We're not selling you a color line. I'm not doing all this other stuff. This is for y'all to come into the salon and understand that you can sit with us. You don't have to work here to get educated. You can still get great education. And at an affordable rate. Is $50 something that we will sustain forever? No, for the value that I know they give. But I think when you're building a brand, there's certain things that you kind of have to give and take. And when we're trying to just build that community, and our hope through all of this is for people to understand that this is for tangible takeaways at a freaking dirt cheap cost, and there's no fluff or bullshit behind it.
How are you getting? Okay, here's being a commission salon with something like that. There's a lot of, competition. Oh my gosh, she's a commission salon. She's trying to steal me away. Blah, 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 blah. How are you able to get people to come in for that?
Great question. A lot of them don't that are local.
Okay.
We have some that will. Like, we definitely keep the communication open, and I am very friendly with a lot of the owners in this area. But I have had many when we dropped it that was like, oh, we were going to do this sometime, because we personally emailed all of them. Hannah tried to physically go into these salons, and everyone knows who she is, who's in this area, because she's also all over social media. So of course she's getting the side eyes and all of the things. I had multiple owners message me that they had always wanted to do that. And I was like, yeah, we'll come. Like, we'll give all your girls like one first class free.
Yeah.
Nothing. I have had stylists message me that their owners didn't want them in our salon. And so they start coming to our classes when they leave the salon. And I don't even know these owners that I've heard say that about me. And I think it's just because of our culture and because of our brand that they're scared. But the reality is, I'm not a poacher. I believe in respect. Only thing I will poach is an independent stylist to be on our bridal team to help them get some more money.
Sure.
But I'm not messaging a commission salon's tops. I think that's very rude. And I know that happens to my girls. I don't think that it's nice. Nice isn't the word. I just don't think that it's ethical personally. I know people are like, they can do it on LinkedIn or you can do this, but if your stylists are coming into our salon, I can tell you right now, the last thing we're talking about is a job here. We have 2 hours to teach you what we have. I'm not wasting your time.
Right. Exactly.
Because our classes are on Shopify. So we can see how many people are looking in abandoned carts and all the things. The views are viewing. The money ain't coming. But I know that it will. And I think if we can just stay consistent and focused and try to kind of branch and let people know, that's kind of all you can do. I'm a very open, transparent book. So also any of the owners here know that. Like, it is what it is.
Whatever. Okay. I love this. I love it because that just shows you, again, it doesn't matter where you are, that competition mindset is still very strong in the industry. It hasn't broken up yet. Maybe a little, but
a little. I think what's broken up more is the new wave of salon owners that actually give a shit about their employees.
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard thing to see on TikTok of these independent stylists who clearly were hurt. I've been hurt. I've been stolen. It's the story of every stylist that has been in the industry. And so I think the best thing that our industry with new owners has done is giving stylists that safe space and actually being a good boss or hearing them out. But I think there's still a lot of work to be done on the community aspect of things. There's more than, you know how many people live? I don't even know how many people live here. We can't accommodate all of them.
Right. There is enough people for everybody to go around. Everybody needs to take a chill pill. What was the other? That was the one way. So you have the education going on, right? What was the other way that people can get involved with you guys? Or was there? It was the hair extensions and the classes. Was that it?
The hair extensions and classes, really it.
Okay.
For now.
I'm so excited. I'm going to be watching. All right. So wait, you're in Raleigh. You're in Carolina. I hope to see you at the Tennessee Beauty Trade Show.
Wait, when is that?
Oh, girl, August 3rd and 4th.
Okay, I'm there.
Okay. I will send you the links.
All I think of is like the Orlando shows. All I ever see anything's on, which I'm not going to that one, but
because that one's the big one. You know, sorry, everybody.
But is it?
Right. Like everybody watching and listening, we're having a minute. Okay. We're having girl talk. For real, like Orlando's one of the biggest ones. The beauty trade show of the Great Smoky Mountains, that's August 3rd and 4th. It's their second year. So good. And I'm going to be there. And then you got the PA beauty show that happens like every other year too. So
yeah, I think I had seen posts. Maybe that's when I started following you, because it was their first year last year.
Yeah.
Is that when I don't know. Maybe that's when
In any case,
your social media stalker.
I love it. Mark your calendar. Anyway, okay. So what else do we have to talk about before we wrap it up? What else do people need to know? I'm gonna have all of her links in the show notes, guys. So watch for that. But what else you got, Christina?
I think it's really just finding people that are in the same arena as you and hanging out with them. We went to Gina Bianca's
love her. She was a guest. She was one of the first ones.
To her salon owner retreat earlier this year. And while it's definitely, I probably wouldn't like talk about things as much with the local salon owner as we did out there.
Yeah.
But like, you have to have these people in your corner. No one understands our industry like we do. And I have made so many good salon owner friends, salon manager friends who like, they just get it. You cannot talk to someone with a normal job and they're not going to understand half of the stuff that we do. And I felt like when we went to her retreat, I was at a point where I was just like, oh my God, like, are we the only? And then you get there and you see people, even Gina and half of her stories, and you're like, oh my God, she's dealt with this too. Like,
yeah, I love that so much. Okay, one final question and then we'll wrap it up. What is a question that you wish I would have asked you, and how would you have answered?
God, I feel like we talked about so much. Maybe just I want to talk about something with firing. Like when it's time to let someone go and when to be okay with it. Okay. Personally, professionally.
Ooh. Okay. And
with being such a hands-on owner, it's a blessing and a curse. Because I do get to know my girls. I've done a lot better at protecting myself personally. But I think knowing that just because you see the best in someone, like I think if you were to have asked me, you know, when do you know it's time to let someone go, or when do you give up? And I hate the idea of having to ever give up on someone, but I don't think that you can't want something more than somebody wants it for themselves. And so understanding that if you are in a leadership position, protecting not only yourself, but your whole culture, because this person can't get out of their own way and pull their head out of their ass. And I wish you truly nothing but the best. And that best is not here right now.
See, that's beautiful. That's truth, but that's like tough love kind of truth. Like you're not being mean about it. You're just being straight up. And I love it. That's my style.
I'm a tough love person. I think you can tell when someone's just being, can I cuss on here?
Girl, you've been doing it and it's fine.
You can tell when someone's being a bitch and when someone actually cares. And I tell my girls that all the time. Like, you think of if you were in sports, a coach or a dance teacher or just a teacher in general, that like, God, they rode your ass, but you know that they did it because they cared and not just because they were being a jerk.
Right.
And I know that so much of my team, even some that are here now, even some that have left that have met, like, they know that what I said was not meant out to hurt them. It was to try to get them to see a different side of it and get out of their own damn way.
Yes. Yeah. Authenticity is true and it's real, and I love it.
Yeah.
All right, my dear Christina, thank you for being on the BeautyPro podcast. Everybody listening and watching, you need to go follow this babe. She is doing big things and is a major source of inspiration. So, Christina, thank you so much.
Thank you.
If you are in Christina's area, you must go to her classes in the salon, get educated, fall back in love with what you do. This girl is changing her community and living her best life through you. Through you. All her info is in the show notes. Check it out. And while you're at it, leave your reviews and your feedback on this episode so we can keep creating relevant content for you and all other beauty and barber pros. I'll talk to you soon. If you loved this episode, subscribe to the BeautyPro podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you never miss an episode. Don't forget to leave your reviews, stars, feedback so I can continue bringing the content you deserve and want most. Your feedback fuels this podcast. The more you give, the more you get back. You can follow me at The BeautyPro Coach on Instagram and Facebook. Want to contact me directly? Email me at befree@goldentruthcoaching.com.